Namaste and welcome back to your mat. Today I will guide you through a yoga class that you can practice any day or any time that you would like to move your body mindfully. We'll start off seated with your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart, and just start taking a couple of breaths mindfully, inhaling all the way, filling up your belly and your chest, and exhaling to let it go, hugging everything in. This technique is called 3-part breathing, and it brings awareness to your breath. It allows you to feel your inhale and your exhale, belly expanding on your inhale and emptying every last drop on your exhale. A few more breaths here, trying to lengthen the inhale as well as the exhale. And at the bottom of your exhale, lowering your hands onto your knees and just taking one more deep breath in. And exhaling, lowering the right ear to the right shoulder so you could feel a stretch along the left side of the neck. If you'd like a little bit of extra added weight, you can place your right hand very gently on top of your head. Now lower the gaze towards the right hip so you can bring the stretch to the back of the left side of the neck. Lowering the hand and lift the gaze to the left side and lower the head back so you can feel a stretch across the front of the neck. Returning back to neutral, taking an inhale and exhaling, lowering the left ear to the left shoulder for a stretch in the right side of the neck. Option here to use the hand as an extra added weight. Remembering to breathe smooth and slowly. Lower the gaze towards the left hip. And lastly, lifting the gaze, letting the head fall behind you for a stretch across the front of the neck. Slowly returning the head back to a neutral position and allowing your neck to adjust. And then bringing the hands, placing the thumbs to the back and fingers forward, and begin to draw circles about the size of a quarter, eventually getting bigger to the size of a golf ball, a basketball, until eventually you can find your full range of motion, elbows all the way up and then back and all the way down, switching directions. And eventually starting to make those small circles again until you're the size of a basketball, maybe a baseball, until you can find those tiny little quarter-sized circles. Lowering the hands, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling to let it go. Coming to meet in a tabletop position, make sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists and your hips are stacked over your knees. Empty out all of the air in your lungs. Then take a deep breath in, lower the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back, lift between the shoulder blades, bring the gaze to the belly button. Inhale to lift. And exhale to round. Move through a few more of these at your own pace, using your breath to guide you. A few more here. Move through one more full cycle of breath, taking your time. There's no rush, and we'll meet in a tabletop position, tucking the toes, lifting the hips towards a downward dog, and just pedaling it out here, bending one knee to the belly, straightening the other leg, switching back and forth, reaching the heel to the ground. Keep lifting the hips up to the sky. And come up onto the very tiptoes, lifting the hips more. And exhaling, reaching those heels down. Moving through a few more of these little toe lifts. Really playing out with your downward dog. We'll step up to the top of your mat, inhaling halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, palms touch over your head, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach those hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to the plank, lower the knees. Keep your elbows to your sides and lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest and float the palms off the ground. And then plant them back down, pushing into a child's pose. Coming forward, lifting the hips up for your downward dog, and walking to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. A beautiful sun salutation. We'll do this again. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your plank. You can move through your full chaturanga or a modified version, upward dog or baby cobra, and then push back to your downward facing dog. Stepping to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Finding your mountain pose, taking a breath. Inhale, reach your arms up again. And exhale, sink back down into a chair position. Your hands at your heart center. Keep pulling your knees behind your toes. And then bring the left elbow to the outside of the right leg for a little twist here. You can either keep your hands in prayer, or to modify it a bit, you can place your right hand to your low back, or you can reach your arms up to the sky. Coming back to center, forward fold, lift the hips. Inhale, rise up to stand. And exhale, sink right back into it. Twisting over to the left now, right elbow to left thigh. Staying in prayer hands or reaching your arms out to the sky and to your toes, or placing the left hand to your low back. Bring your palms back to prayer and twist back to center. Forward fold, lift the hips. Rise up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, sit back to your thunderbolt pose. And then forward fold, lift the hips. Step back to your plank. Lower down chaturanga. Upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. From here, step your right foot between your palms, lift up into warrior one, And then right back down, step back to your plank, move through your flow. Meeting back in downward dog. And just taking a breath here. Now place the left foot between the palms, find your balance and get into warrior one. Fold back over, move through your flow, upward dog or baby cobra, and meeting down in a downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Step up between your palms, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, let the head be heavy. Rise up to stand, exhale, hands to your heart center and find your mountain pose, palms at your sides. Stay at the top of your mat, bringing your hands to your hips and weight into the right foot. Begin to open the left knee out to the side, placing your foot either on the ground or anywhere along the inside of your right leg. Try challenging your balance here. Inhaling to lift the crown of the head up to the sky, lengthening the full body. And exhaling, pulling that knee towards the back of the mat. Remembering to breathe. Maybe feeling that standing leg start to burn. And then bring your hands back to your hips. And then without placing your foot to the ground, step it back into a runner's lunge position with the toes on the ground. The heel is lifted, almost stacked on top of the toes. Lunge into the right knee and then lift the palms up to the sky for crescent lunge. Maybe inviting a gentle back bend, lifting the gaze. Now step the left foot parallel to the back of the mat and lunge into your warrior two position. Bring it back into an exalted warrior. Right arm comes overhead. And back into your warrior two. Lunge for one more breath. Windmill the arms to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe the right foot out to the side of your mat. Now you can either let the knee fall out to the side, coming onto the knife edge of your right foot, or you can keep that foot planted to the ground. Whatever's more comfortable for you. You can also come onto your forearms or a couple of blocks. Just really feeling a stretch into the right glute and across the front of the left hip. Remembering to breathe, coming out of the pose if you need to. If you're on your forearms, come back onto your palms. Bring your right hand back to the outside of your right foot. Tuck your back toes and begin to shift your hips backward for a half split. Pull the right toes towards your face. Try to keep a straight back. And then coming back forward into that dragon pose, let the knee fall out, lift the right arm up to the sky. Then coming back down, flowing into that half split for just a breath. Then coming forward into the dragon. Moving with your breath, letting it flow through you. One more here, dragon pose. And coming back into your last half split here. And walk your hands forward, step back into a plank position, move through your flow. Upward facing dog, coming over the toes into your downward dog. Step up to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, hands to your heart center. And we'll repeat it on the left side now. Bringing your hands to your hips. Bring your weight into the left foot. Open the right knee out to the side and find your own expression of tree pose. Keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands to your heart center. Remembering to breathe. Inhale to lengthen the body, and exhale, pulling that right knee back just a little bit more, opening across the front of the hips. And really trying to challenge yourself here as we come out of this, bringing your hands to your hips, and try, without placing that right foot down to the ground, coming into your runner's lunge. Keep lifting that hamstring and bring the arms up to the sky, maybe bringing your gaze up for the back bend here. And then coming into your warrior two pose, moving mindfully here through the transitions. Sink into that left knee. Flip the left palm up to the sky, bring the right hand to the thigh, and exalt your warrior. And then bring it back into your warrior two position. Beautiful. One more breath. And then windmilling the hands down to the inside of that left foot. Shift your hips forward. And remembering here, you can either keep the left foot planted to the ground or let the knee fall open. Coming onto your forearms or staying onto your palms or a block, whatever is more comfortable. Listen to your body and give it what it's asking for. Breathing through any discomfort here. And we'll come into that half split. Bring the left hand to the outside of the left foot. Shift the hips back. And feel that deep stretch in the left hamstring. And we'll move through the flows. Come forward into dragon. And then shift your weight back into that half split. Inhale, come forward, dragon. Exhale, half split. Inhale, dragon. Open across the chest. Exhale, half split. Come forward, plant the palms, dragon one more time. Half split. And coming forward, sending that left foot back, lower into your chaturanga. Upward dog on your inhale. And exhaling into your down dog. And lower the knees, come into a child's pose. Knees as wide as the mat, sinking your hips down to your heels. And lowering the forehead to the ground for a couple of breaths. Ground down through the palms to pull yourself into a tabletop and then a seated position. For seated, thread the needle. Cross the right foot over the left thigh. You can walk that left foot either closer or away from you. Just so you can feel a nice stretch into the right leg and the right glute. Keep lifting the crown of the head to the sky for a nice straight back. Breathing and filling up the lungs, lifting the chest. Straighten the left leg, bring the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. You can keep the left leg extended or you can bend it to your right hip. Lift the left arm up to the sky and then bring it to the outside of the right thigh. The right hand acting as a kickstand to lift the chest on your inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhaling, twisting over to the right. If the palm up is too much, you can always hug that right thigh. Inhaling to come out, unbind the legs, and find butterfly pose here and just forward fold over your legs. Beautiful. Now we'll thread the needle on the other side, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, adjusting as your body needs. Coming into our twist, you can either have that right leg straight or bent. The left foot is on the outside of the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine up nice and tall, and then bring that right elbow to the left knee. Left hand is acting as a kickstand to help you lift up, and then bring the gaze over to the left side for the full body twist. Twists can restrict our breath, so really trying to fill up the belly and get those full cycles. And without snapping back like an elastic, we're slowly going to inhale, come out, unbind the legs, shake them out, wiggle the toes, and then sink back onto your mat for our final few poses here. Bring the feet together at the bottom of the mat and hug your right knee in towards your chest for wind reliever. You can roll out the ankle here. And switching sides, right leg extended, left knee towards your chest. Filling up your belly. And exhaling, sinking into your mat. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock side to side, massaging out the low back. And stepping the feet to the ground, bringing your toes and heels to touch. And opening the knees to the sides like a book. Place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest. And just breathing here. Stay here or come into your final Shavasana, sinking into your mat and absorbing everything that your practice has to benefit you. Relaxing every muscle in your body. And let yourself be just as you are. Stay here for as long as you'd like, or roll onto your right side in fetal position. And pushing yourself into a seated pose, or we'll end off our practice. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you and knows that they are the same. Namaste.